Alright, gonna do a oil change on the 1445. Normally I try to change the oil about every 50 hours, but this time I think I've gone about 70. The recommended oil change interval is 200. It is what it is. I just prefer to change it. So I've got my John Deere Plus 52 engine oil. I've also got since it takes 4 quarts, I'm going to pour it out of, and actually I fill that out of the 5-gallon buckets right there. Mostly because I can get the 5-gallon buckets cheapest, but the 5-gallon buckets are extremely hard to deal with, so I can pour them into 2.5-gallon jugs and then pour it into gallon jugs, which is just a high guard bottle right there. Engine oil change is 4.3 quarts plus a filter, and that includes the filter. So I've already let the engine run a little bit, and so now I'm just going to drain the oil out and go from there. Nice thing about these units is everything is right here on the left hand side. So drain plug is right there, oil filter right here, and oil fill is right here. So it's really kind of a one-stop shop type deal. Should be relatively easy to change based on the last time I changed it. Let's see here. I changed it 2061, and yeah, it's right at 65 hours, something like that. So not all that bad. Certainly not 200 hours. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull the dipstick and actually show you how much oil I used in those 65 hours. Alright, hopefully you can see this. So the dipstick is located underneath the seat in the 1445. Pretty easily serviceable. When we filled the oil up after the change, it was completely at the top full mark, and now it is, pull this out, you can see, hopefully you can see that, it's still decently full, certainly nothing wrong with it, but it has used, I can't remember how much that is. I think it's a quart, or I don't think it's a quart, I think it's about a half quart, so 2 pints. So it's probably used a couple pints of oil in 65 hours, which is not terrible. That's not something all that bad. So yeah, it's not using a lot of oil or anything. So that's happy. Now I check the oil every time before I start it, so it's not like that's the first time I've checked the oil since I changed it. So I'll get the oil drained out, and I'll get the oil filter changed and everything else, and I'll try to video some of that progress. Alright, so I saved you the aggravation of having to deal with watching me loosen up the drain plug. So I already did that. Now we're going to pull the drain plug and see what comes out. Not all too exciting. But we'll let that drain for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and take the after I let that drain for a little bit, I'll go ahead and take the filter off. I don't think this is magnetic. Nope. So it's not magnetic or anything, so I don't see anything that I would be concerned about. It's always a good thing to check. Wish it was magnetic to some degree, but we'll let this drain out, and then we'll come back and do take the filter off. Well, I didn't video quite a bit, mostly because it got kind of dark here, and I was running around trying to get a bunch of other stuff done and get everything out of the rain. Now the rain's here. Fortunately, it's coming from the other direction. But so anyway, I have the drain plug back in, got the filter in there. It's gotten a lot darker in here, so it's hard to see. Now I'm just putting the oil in, going from there. So I'm going to sit here, pour the rest of the oil in, and then fire it up, check everything, check the oil level, see if I need to add any more, and we should be good to go. I'll come back once I have finished adding all the oil and checked everything. All finished with the oil change. Went ahead and ran the engine. I've already wiped this off, mostly just because it's easier to do it this way. and you can see the oil is right at the full mark. I think I rubbed some off there, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how fast it went. If it wasn't for to get the dipstick back in here. If it wasn't for the rain, I would have done this in about 15 minutes. Instead, it took me about 30 because I was trying to clean everything up from other tasks I was doing. So now I can actually have the deck off right now, doing some maintenance to it. That's in another video. Yeah, 1445 is good to go for another 50 hours. I think the next big maintenance thing I have coming up, I don't think there's anything necessarily on the tractor. I'll probably replace the air filter at the end of the summer. So other than that, it's probably just the oil changes, which probably will be done sometime in July again. Right now it's into May, so probably put 50 hours on it between now and the end of July. So anyway, thanks for watching. Not that great, not that interesting a video, but you know, hey, it's a video.